Hi everyone, today let me show you how to access the GUI of this mini Mikrotik router board. It acts as router and it also acts as a layer 3 switch where you can configure multiple VLANs, use it for inter-VLAN routing. It's very portable, cheap and easy to configure. So I will show you how to access the GUI and then we will do some basic configurations such as the username, changing the ID, creating VLANs, creating route and assigning IP addresses. So let's get started. Okay, so let's get started. First thing, you need to power the router board with a 12-volt power source. So here it is. Plug it to the power port. So it will take some seconds to boot up. Then you need the LAN cable which you will use to connect from your laptop to the router. So you plug it to the LAN port on your laptop. Then the second end go to any port on the router. So I will use port 2. So it's not fully boot yet, so the light is not showing here. So when it's fully boot, you see the connection light which is connected to port 2. Then what we need next on the laptop is the regular Mikrotik app, which is Winbox. So I have it installed on my laptop already, so I'll just search for it, type Winbox. So here is the app. I click it and open it. So the Winbox will automatically detect every connected Mikrotik product to it, so to your laptop. There are some wireless connection here. So the Wi-Fi, where the Wi-Fi I'm connected to, there are some Mikrotik devices in the network environment here, so it detects that also. Then this is the one that I connected physically using the cable, which is the second one. So how do I know the difference? Before the connection, I was seeing this particular one this particular IP address. So when I add this wired connection, that's when I start seeing this one. So probably this is the one. So click on it. So I'm going to use the MAC address to connect. So this is the default IP. Then the default username is admin. Then the default password is written at the back of the router. So here it is, CUAYVR36D. So I'm going to type it under the section of the password. So CUAYVR36DF. Connect. Okay, so as you can see, I can access the GUI now. What I need to do, I don't want to use the default configuration, so I'm going to remove the configuration. So in this case, the password, the default password, everything will be removed. Then I will relog in again and put my own password. Okay, so old password will now be blank. Then it will disconnect me. Then I have to reconnect again. Close. Then remove the old password. So after setting it to the default, you have to log in again. So the default password has been removed, and then select the right device again. The username still remain admin, so leave the password blank and click on connect. Okay, so I have to put my desired password now. So on that old password it was blank, so you leave it blank. So move to the new password. Let me use 4J. Then sorry, let me type it for J. Then confirm it for J. Then click OK. Alright, so I'm in now. So let's start with the identity. So right now the identity is Mikrotik RB91 GUI. So to do that, I'll go to system, then identity, and I can change the name to 4J. Let me say network, then apply, then OK. So see above now the identity have changed, that is the name have changed from Mikrotik to 4J network. So the next thing, let's create a bridge. This bridge is like a function like a VLAN, is used to segment the port, that is the various ports on the device, into different broadcast domains. So if I create any new bridge, any port I add to this bridge belongs to the broadcast domain of this bridge. So any other port that is not a member of this bridge will not be able to access the any broadcast frame from the other members of the port that are members of this bridge. So if you want all the ports to be in one broadcast domain, you have to add all ports to the bridge you create. But if you want to separate port 1, port 2, port 3 to be in different broadcast domain, you have to create different bridge for them. All right. So once you create the bridge, there's place to add the port. So let's get started. Click on new. Then here the bridge name is bridge 1. I'm not going to change that, so I'll leave it as it is. Then just click apply and OK. So apply, OK. So I have to add port to this bridge now. So I select the bridge, right? So go to port. So I have to add the interface, that's different ports to this bridge right now. Okay. So on that port right now, click on new. I want only ports. Sorry. I want only interface 2 to interface 4 to be member of this bridge. All right. So that means interface 1, interface 5 will be in different broadcast domain. All right. So if I do this, the device, because I'm connected to interface 2, which is port 2, via the cable, the device will temporarily log me out. I have to log in again. Okay, so apply and OK, and then I'll be logged out, as you can see. So close, then try to log in again. Let me refresh the network. Okay, so for J network, the password is now for J. Hit enter. So it logged me again. I'll go back to the bridge. Then this is my existing bridge. Go to port. I want to add more ports to it. Alright. So click on new. Then interface. I want to add port 3 to this bridge. Okay. Alright. So if I want to add port 4, I will do the same thing, but let's stop here because we are only doing this for demonstration. We are not actually using it for anything. So let's go to how to create a VLAN. Okay. So go to interfaces. So under these interfaces, you see a VLAN. So I want to create new one. So click on new. Then VLAN name. Let's say LAN. Sorry. Then the VLAN ID, let me give VLAN 100. So if you create a VLAN, you have to assign it to an interface. Okay. So I'm going to assign it to this ETA 2. So meaning if I assign it to this ETA 2, this ETA 2 is for VLAN 100 now. All right. So how Mikrotik work is that I can assign more VLAN to this same ETA 2, then automatically it becomes a trunk port. When you assign 2 or more VLAN to one port, that port automatically becomes a trunk port. Okay. So apply, then OK. So next, let's look at how to assign an IP address to various interfaces on the router. So just as I told you earlier, you can use it as layer 3, you can use it as layer 2. Okay, so you can use it as a multi-layer device. So you can assign an IP address to the physical interface. You can also assign an IP address to the SVI of the VLAN you created. So to assign an IP address, you go to IP on the menu here. So go to addresses. Then there's no any IP address again because I've reset it to the reset it. The default IP is no longer here. So click on new, and then the IP address, let's assume to use 10.10.10.1. Then the subnet masks are usually written as /24 or whatever mask you want to use. Unlike Cisco, where you type 255.255.255. So after typing the IP address and you specify the subnet mask, you have to identify the interface you want to apply this IP address to. So I will click on the interface list, and as you can see, all the interfaces are there. I can pick any of them. I can apply to this SVI, which is LAN. So that LAN is the VLAN I created for the LAN. So if I pick this LAN as the interface to apply to, that means I'm specifying the SVI of this VLAN 100 I created for the LAN. So I'm not going to do that. I will use this ETA 2 as the layer 3 interface. So I'm going to pick this ETA 2. Alright, so I will click on apply, then Okay. So meaning if I assign an IP address of this range to my laptop, I can access it via a web browser now. Alright. So before we confirm that, let me also show you how to configure a route. But I have not connected to any other router, but I'm just going to demonstrate on how to configure. So I'm not to specify the next hop. I'm just going to use any random IP address that will represent a next router that will act as the next hop. Alright. So go to IP, then addresses. Sorry, IP, then route. Okay, so route. So this is the detected connected route. So if I want to add new route, I'll click on new. So the destination address, so let me just use this one as the default route. So that is to the internet, any route at all, any destination at all. But if I want to specify a specific route by 20.20.20.0/24, I can type the destination address here, but let me just use the default route. 0.0.0/10/0. Then the gateway is the next hop. Okay, so if you have another router in the segment that is directly connected to it, that's where you specify it. Let's assume my laptop, I will assign the IP to my laptop, and my laptop will not act as the router, but in reality it's not. So this way I'll specify the gateway. Alright. So just as usual, click on apply and okay. Done. This is the basic we are going to do now, because I don't want to make the video too long. So with time we'll do more like how to configure DHCP, how to configure DNS, and so much more. But let me show you how to access it via the web browser now. So first of all, I need to give my laptop an IP range that is in this 10.10.10 range. So I have to enter my laptop and right click, then internet and IP settings. Ethernet, I'm going to edit the Ethernet. Okay, let me edit it. IP address 10.10.10. Let me give myself .2. Then mask is .0. Then the router is the gateway. 10.10.10.1. Then every other things are the same. So save. Let me test connectivity before I try to access it from the web. So CMD. 10.10.10.1. Okay, so I can ping this. So let me try to access it from browser now. Let me enter the IP address of the router 10.10.10.1. So click enter. So as you can see, I can access the GUI from web browser now. So the password is Paul J. Okay. Alright. Don't save. Go to advanced. Yeah, so you can see every feature that was in the green box here now. But right now I don't I just did this for this lecture purpose, so I'm not going to leave this configuration on it. So what I'm going to do is to reset it to the default. Okay, if I want to reset it, I have to enter system, reset configuration, and reset configuration. I have to click OK. So right now I've reset it to the default, so I will no longer access it via the web when it fully booked up. So right now it's not booked up yet. As you can see, the LAN port is not up yet, so if it come up, I will not be able to access it via the web anymore, because the IP is no longer there, because I've removed the configuration. So it's up now, so let me try to refresh. If we continue rolling, then we'll not be reachable via the web browser anymore. But I can still use the MAC address to access it from the Winbox. Okay, so let me check. Let me close, then refresh. As you can see, it has reset back to the default, so the IP address has changed back to the default IP address, and the identity, which is the name, has changed back to Mikrotik and no longer for J. So that is all. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share with friends, like, and comment. Do have a beautiful day.